Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, race number 7 at the fairgrounds on Saturday, Kentucky Oaks prep race. It's the grade 2 Rachel Alexandra. Let's take a look at this field of 3-year-old fillies getting ready to travel a mile and a 16th. Mark Casse has 2 in here. We'll begin with the number 4, Wonder Gadot, graded stakes winner on synthetic, graded stakes winner on dirt in the Demoiselle last time out. Disappointed some folks last time, however, at 11-10.
Yeah, she did. And you know what? I didn't really find any excuse. I thought she was supposed to get the job done, and she didn't. I've maintained all along that she's a turf horse or a synthetic horse. I don't think that this is actually what she wants to do or what she's going to do in the long term. Does that mean that she can't win here? No, not at all. But at the same time, I kind of look at it and say, she won the Demoiselle. That race was run like a turf race. They crawled and then they sprinted home. I think that's ultimately what she is.
Hasn't gotten much faster in her last 4 races. She earned an 80 and winning the Mazarine over synthetic in her 3 races since. Buyers between 74 and 78. She's going to have to improve. Cassie's other entrant you've been more bullish on throughout her career. That's the 6 Heavenly Love. She won the grade 1 Alcibiades in her first start around 2 turns. In the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, she drew the rail.
Yep.
She was dead after that because the rail was dead.
Yep.
She had an inside post. What happened last time out in the Silver Bullet Day? I didn't think it was the most comfortable trip in the world.
No, I mean, she was in a little bit tight going into the far turn and had to just tap on the brakes. But I have to be honest with you, after that, I thought she followed Wonder Gadot, and then when the real running started, she was just even. Now, if you want to try to be kind and say that she needed one off the bench, that's fine. I'm inclined to at least say that that's reasonable. I thought it was bad. I thought she needed to do better than that, and I kind of wonder now all of a sudden I'm looking at it. The Breeders' Cup, certainly just draw a line through it, but that Alcibiades has come back really, really weak, and maybe she's not as good as I thought she was.
Our friends at Timeform US believe that the pace of this race will be fast. We're going to take a look at that pace projector right now. The 3 Classy Act, who has won her last 2 starts in either front-running or pace-pressing fashion, is expected to be on the lead. The 1 actress on board, a maiden, could be the one providing the heat.
I think if the 1 goes, the 3 in connections would let the 1 go and think that we're better than her, simply because that most recent run for Classy Act, she drew the outside. She was a little bit wide going into the first turn. And you go back to the career debut, she made up some good ground late. It's not like she was just kind of passing tired horses. She only got beat by a neck. I think they're content, and I think they believe that she can sit and pass.
I think the Classy Act will work out a really good trip as well, and I'm not sure if the pace will be blistering hot. If the 1 goes, I think Classy Act, you're right. We'll sit in second. Javier will do the right thing. All of her 2-turn races have been good. I think she's an interesting price horse in here at 6-1. Getting to actress on board, a maiden after 6 starts. It looks like she is getting there. Tennessee bred, buyer 75-76 in her last 2.
If you just look at it from a figure standpoint, she's there. She's right there with all the main contenders in here. Because she doesn't have a victory yet, some people will hold that against her. I don't know if I would against this group.
Morning line favorites on the outside. That's the 8 Monomoy Girl for trainer Brad Cox. Saw the undefeated streak go poof last time out in a good effort in the grade 2 Golden Rod Stakes. In that race, she was pressuring road to victory throughout, and it looked like she was home free for a brief instant at the 3/16 pole. Were you disappointed that she couldn't finish that race off as the favorite?
A little bit, and it makes me wonder too. I mean, did that final 16th, was that the thing that got to her? Because you go to that run 2 starts back in the Rags to Riches, that was a 1-turn mile, and I know that she started off going 2 turns in those turf races, but there's a part of me that wonders, you know, when the real running is going on dirt, maybe she just doesn't have that stamina. Off the bench, look, who am I to say that Cox isn't going to have her ready to go? On figs, she's way the horse to beat.
Do you believe that fig of a 91, the also-rans from that race have not come back to really flatter that buyer speed figure? And also, that was a race that was dominated on the front end. There was no closing going on.
Yeah, you've got buyers between 71 and 60 that have come out of that race. So it makes me think that it is inflated. Having said that, take 10 points away, she's still one of the fastest.
I know she came from off the pace to win her debut on turf. She has been on the lead in her last 3. If you're Florent Giroux, you want a dead send here?
I don't know about a dead send, knowing that you've got the 1 and knowing that 3 Classy Act is in here. I think I would just try to park off of the 3 and say, if I'm better than her, I should be able to go on with it.
You mentioned Brad Cox, high percentage trainer, almost winning with 1/3 of his starters at the fairgrounds. Here's a good formulator fact for Brad Cox. Past 3 years, last out winning 3-year-olds on dirt, 37%, a 286 return on investment. The 7 Patron Margarita. I know her buyers are light compared to those of Monomoy Girl, but I liked what I saw in that grade 2 Pocahontas. Just consider she was stretching out 3.5 furlongs and stepping up out of Texas bred races She was also very, very wide on the turn, and she was getting a little bit tired at the end of that race, but there have been a couple of next out winners, and a horse that didn't come back to win next out returned to Buyer 81 at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, and not only all those things about the Pocahontas, but she was coming off of what, a 3-month layoff? It's not like she had any sort of recency, so I don't have any real knock against her. This is another long layoff that you've got to deal with, but if you have questions about the Cassie horses in here, and you've got questions about Monomoy Girl's overall fig, why not Patron Margarita?
The good news about the layoff is the formulator factor we're going to show you right now from trainer Brett Calhoun. Over the past 4 years, with last out winning 3-year-olds on dirt, coming off this size layoff, 31% and a big ROI. This horse might be the surprise package. The 5 is She's a Julie. She's very lightly raced. She made her seasonal and 2-turn debut last time out in that Classy Act race. I thought she ran okay. It's something to build on. I'm not sure. This might be a little bit too much too soon, but maybe down the road.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. She was the only one making up any sort of ground, because Classy Act and the horse that ran second in there, Go Google Yourself, they were the two that basically went 1-2 the whole way. She was on her left lead at the end of the run, so it makes me wonder, did she need one? Was she feeling tired? Da-da-da-da. I think she's okay. I don't know if she's this good.
Testing 1-2 completes this field. Boy, she's done nothing wrong in 3 starts around 2 turns at Delta Downs. She's blown out fields. She's going to be facing the big girls sort of here.
To me, she's the prime example. I'm not picking her. I'm not using her anywhere, but be aware of horses that when all they do is go out and just blow the doors off of competition. I know she's facing better, but how much better is she facing? I know those fields are really, really weak. I don't know that you've got superstars in here. All she does is go out and dust fields. I wouldn't be surprised if she ran really well.
Take out Monomoy Girl's Buyer speed figures from her last 2 races. She is right there. An interesting package with the 2, testing 1-2. Let's take a look at our top picks for the Rachel Alexandra Stakes. I know you were impressed by Classy Act's performances in her last 2 races, and perhaps a good trip is coming.
Yeah, I'd like to think that she's going to be able to sit just off of the overmatched speed in here. I think the 1 is interesting. I don't think she's just going to completely pack it in. I think she'll put up a little bit of a fight, but if you think that getting Javier and a more advantageous post position inside of Wonder Gadot, inside of Heavenly Love, inside of Monomoy Girl, I think those things could all work in her favor.
Came back with a bullet work right after that last race, allays fears of a bounce somewhat. 3-8-4-6 for you, Matt. 6-1 on the morning line, Classy Act. Monomoy Girl's just got the fig edge. I will be very curious to see if she can finish this one off at a mile and a 16th. It's a very important race for her. The short price doesn't make me want to bet her to win, but I also want to use the 3 Classy Act, your topic. You're going 3-8-4-6. I'm going 8-3-4-2 in the grade 2 Rachel Alexandra. It has a post time, approximate post time, 4:05 Central on Saturday. It's race number 7 at the fairgrounds. Best of luck.